Now at 5:30, we're tracking a national case. With Kentucky ties this morning, a man pleaded guilty to sexploitation. Some of his victims are from Kentucky. More could emerge as the FBI investigates. We'll have more coming up in a live report.
Also on WKYT this morning and new now, we are tracking the investigation after state troopers say a man led them on a chase in Franklin County and tried to run down troopers.
And we have showers and thunderstorms out and about early this morning. That flooding risk is going to increase because it's just not going to stop back toward the west. Just keeps funneling on in, and we'll go over those numbers, when you can expect it to stop, coming up next.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so nice to have you with us up and at it on this Wednesday morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to your day. We are halfway through the week, almost there, so that's good.
Pushing through. The weekend looks pretty good, but at this point, we still have that possibility of those all of a sudden showers and storms like we had yesterday.
Hopefully they didn't creep up on you too bad yesterday. Mike has been warning us about this potential.
Yeah, and look, as we go throughout the day today, it's not going to be like yesterday where you have those thunderstorms as strong or severe as they were. We had isolated. We had two, maybe three warnings yesterday, and that was the case. It's just very stray cells here and there. Today, we're not really seeing that severe weather threat. It's mainly for the far west. Could we see an isolated cell? Yeah, it's possible, but still the flooding risk is going to be our main issue because you just get one heavy shower or thunderstorm after another. Today's forecast ought to take you throughout the afternoon. Scattered showers and storms. No surprise here. We talked about that yesterday, how it's today and for tomorrow too. So we'll take you into that. What about the weekend, though? Is there some good news there? I'll show you that in your 7-day coming up.
Micah, we'll see you in a bit. And new this morning on WKYT, we are tracking a developing national story with ties to right here in Kentucky. The FBI is asking for help all across the country right now in identifying victims in a sexploitation case.
More than 100 teenage victims have been identified, including one in northern Kentucky, another in western Kentucky. The FBI fears there could be hundreds more linked to one specific man. WKYT's Mark Barber is on our live desk with more on this investigation.
Rebecca, the FBI says that a 31-year-old terrorized nearly 350 teenage girls before he was sentenced to more than 100 years in prison. Two of his victims were right here in Kentucky, but federal investigators think there could be more out there, so they are still searching for other victims. That's why Ashley Reynolds is sharing her story. She says when she was 14, someone claiming to be a 15-year-old boy told her that he had an embarrassing sexual picture of her and he would send it to her MySpace friends if she did not send him more. When she exposed herself, investigators say the man on the other end of the screen, Lucas Chandler, a 31-year-old Florida man, took a screenshot and started blackmailing her to get more pictures. Investigators tell us Chandler used hundreds of screen names from cuddly to good-looking guy to gain the trust of girls in 26 states. We're told that the online predator searched for victims in a popular online chat room.
I gave him the pictures and I got to keep my reputation. I don't need anyone to feel bad for me. I feel like use that energy and just get the word out.
While Chandler has now been convicted on multiple counts of child pornography production, the FBI says many of his 350 victims, about 250, still have not been identified. They're now hoping that Reynolds' story will help them find more of those women.
Mark, you know, this is something that the parents probably really need to consider because it is easier than ever for kids to use internet technology. A lot of them are carrying phones earlier in life.
Smartphones right in your fingertips. Mark, what does the FBI suggest parents do to keep their kids safe?
Well, Rebecca, they say that anybody who is online should keep three basic things in mind. First, remember that whatever you are told online may not be true. The person on the other end of the screen could be lying about their identity. Second, don't show any pictures to strangers and don't post anything online that you wouldn't show to your grandmother. Finally, if you feel like you are being targeted by a predator, tell someone, tell your parents or a teacher or law enforcement. If you are a parent, the FBI says that you need to keep those communication lines open with your children. Bill, Rebecca?
All right, good advice. Mark Barber in our newsroom this morning. It's coming up on 5:35. Storms left a lot of damage at a popular Nelson County distillery. Two warehouses at Heaven Hill Brands were badly damaged in the storm. The winds and rain ripped the roof right off of one warehouse and partially damaged another. Each of those warehouses stored about 19,000 barrels of bourbon. The master distiller says it's going to take a while to fully repair the warehouses.
It looks like If things go well, working nonstop, we'll have a new roof on it probably within 2 to 3 weeks. And the other warehouse, probably, I'd say within a week, we'll have it repaired. But cost-wise, we really won't know till we can get inside and really kind of take a look at the structure.
In total, the distillery houses 1.1 million barrels inside 51 different warehouses. Potter says it's too early to tell if any of the bourbon barrels were compromised, but he says they are pretty resilient.
Can imagine so. New this morning, state police arrested a man in Frankfort who they say led them on a chase and tried to run down officers. The chase happened around 11:30 last night when troopers tried to pull over a Honda Accord on Bald Knob Road. Police say the driver, 37-year-old Daniel Ryan, sped towards the officers who opened fire in the car as it went away. Ryan later crashed his car on River Ridge Road in Frankfort. He had minor injuries and is charged with trafficking cocaine right now, but police expect more charges to be filed later.
New this morning, Lexington police are investigating a crash that they think may have been alcohol related. Police tell us a man flipped his station wagon just before 11 on Lakeshore Drive. Police say the man hit another car and a pole before coming to a stop. The car landed on its roof. Firefighters had to cut open the car just to get the man out. The driver has suffered some minor injuries. He was taken over to UK Hospital to be checked. One witness says he was surprised to hear the crash.
And I heard a big bang out front, and I looked outside, and there was a station wagon in my front yard, and it had hit my neighbor's car as well as the car in front of my house. And as soon as I got outside, he drove off and couldn't get a license number or anything, but got a good look at the car, though.
Police say they think the driver may have been under the influence when he crashed.
Rescue crews in Louisville say they think they found the final missing person from a boat accident on the Ohio River over the 4th of July weekend. A towboat operator spotted the body of a child late last night. Emergency crews were able to recover the body. A pontoon boat overturned Saturday night, killing 2 people. 3 others were reported missing. Search crews found the bodies of 2 adults. They think that the child that they found last night was the final missing victim. 4 people did survive the crash.
And we're tracking a breaking news story this morning out of Maryland. 3 people have been shot and killed near the University of Maryland's campus in Baltimore. Police made the discovery late last night. They found a woman and 2 men with gunshot wounds. 1 man was pronounced dead at the scene and 2 others died at a hospital. A 4th victim walked to a hospital with a gunshot wound. Campus police reported that 2 gunmen, each in a van, pulled over next to a group of people. They got out and started firing. And we're working on gathering more information on this. We'll keep you updated with the latest as soon as it's available here at WKYT.
An Eastern Kentucky jailer says one of his employees stopped an attempted escape that turned violent. We first told you about the case yesterday morning. The Bell County jailer says inmates Christopher Dixon and Kenneth Williams tried to escape Monday night. When a corrections officer opened a cell door, the 2 inmates rushed forward, attacking the officer. Another officer was standing by who was also attacked. Both officers were pepper sprayed. The jailer says Dixon used a jail radio to contact an employee named Amy Webb in the control room and claimed he would kill one of the officers if she didn't let the inmates leave. Instead, Webb called police.
That was very important to withstand what she was seeing and still keep her composure.
Both inmates now face additional charges. The jailer says both injured officers will be off work for a couple of days, but they should be all right.
Governor Steve Beshear says he will not call a special legislative session to handle issues stemming from the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that legalized same-sex marriage. House Speaker Greg Stumbo had asked for a special session after some county clerks stopped issuing marriage licenses altogether in response to the ruling. But he did not say what he wants the legislature to do. Only the governor can call lawmakers back into session, and last night the governor said he is declining. He said the courts will deal with any clerks who are not issuing marriage licenses. And the governor went on to say, quote, "It is time for everyone to take a deep breath. There is no need to spend $60,000 a day of taxpayer dollars to call a special session of the General Assembly." The governor said that any minor changes to clarify the language of state statutes can wait until the regular legislative session, which will be coming up in January.
It's a mystery that has folks in an eastern Kentucky town buzzing. High-heeled shoes keep showing up on utility poles around Middlesboro. Someone's climbing up the poles and nailing the shoes to them. Look at that. So far, no one has been able to figure out who exactly is doing this or why.
There's a lot of jokes stirring up about the cable men or the electric men. Their rates have went up. It's a cheaper way for them to get up the pole, but I don't believe that.
Okay. Middlesboro police say they don't think this is anything criminal. They think it's someone trying to create an art project or a statement, it sounds like, according to those people we interviewed.
Well, interesting.
Speechless.
All right, there you go. The time this morning is 5:40. It's 20 till 6, bright and early here on your Wednesday morning, and time to check live drive traffic. And let's see what's going on as you make your way in this morning. Here's a look right now at our Waze app.
A little bit slower traffic being reported by that app. We do have an alert that we want to let you know about.
A patch of slow-moving traffic right now close to downtown. It is on East High Street that runs from Woodland Park over to South Limestone. Obviously, make sure you're careful out there on the roads this morning. We'll check and see exactly what's holding up traffic in that area. Many of these roads become slick, of course, after those rains move through, as Micah has been talking about. And what happens is that just those sudden downpours, in some cases, people, even on the interstate, start to flashing the caution lights and pull over because it is intense at times.
While we don't know if that's anything related to yesterday's storm damage, you never know when there could be a tree limb or an actual tree sitting there somewhere in the roads.
We'll get watch on that in just a bit. All right, a lot more news coming up on WKYT on your Wednesday morning.
Some superheroes decided to give these kids at an Iowa hospital a very special visit, but they weren't there to clean up crime. We'll give you a better look in just 5 minutes.
And we still have that rain out and about, some heavier bouts down toward the south, but scattered storms pick up later on today and for tomorrow too. But I do have some good news in the forecast towards your weekend. I have that coming up next.